As a business user, I rely on insightful, highly interactive reports such as this one to support my business decisions. This one, for example, shows the performance of a portfolio that I manage, and this is how it looks when I consume it from my laptop or desktop. In this view, the report has 3 side-by-side tables on top, 2 side-by-side charts in the middle, and a table at the bottom. When I'm on the go and consume the report from my tablet or smartphone, the report automatically resizes and repositions its elements to optimally fit the available screen size. To illustrate this smart and fully automatic resizing and repositioning behavior, I will use the mobile device simulator built into the browser. To invoke the simulator, I go to Settings, More Tools, Developer Tools. All mainstream browsers have such a simulator. It does a good job in most cases, but it's not perfect. So occasionally, I will need to refresh the browser screen so the simulator catches up. So here is the desktop view. When I consume the report on devices with smaller screens, and note how I'm squeezing the screen area to simulate such devices, the report first automatically scales down its elements in an attempt to fit the available screen size without changing its layout. For example, note how all report items, the charts, the tables, the logo on top, the fonts, all of these are automatically and proportionately scaled down. When, as a result of this scaling, the minimum the side-by-side report items, such as the 3 tables on top, reach their minimum width, ensuring legibility, the rightmost one is pushed to a new row to make room and to ensure legibility. When I consume the report on devices with even smaller screen sizes, and typically these will be smartphones, all side-by-side report items get pushed down below each other in a Z pattern, meaning from left to right, top to bottom, ultimately resulting in a single column layout, just like so. And this is done to optimally fit the available screen size and minimize the need for horizontal scrolling, both of which are key mobile user experience best practices. And here are a few other resizing and repositioning aspects to highlight before we look at the rich touch interactivity provided as part of this project. Note how in the report viewer header, the pagination buttons shift below the report title to optimally fit devices with small screens. On devices with bigger screens, they are presented side by side. Also note how in this chart, by design, the legend is right positioned, and how this right positioned legend will be automatically repositioned to the bottom of the chart on devices with small screen sizes, such as smartphones. So I need to refresh the simulator so it reflects the proper view, and we see how the chart legend shifted. Also note how dialogues auto adjust their size as well to occupy the entire screen on devices with small screen sizes, and to occupy just a portion of the screen on devices with bigger screens. As a business user, what I like the most about this project, though, is that the report not only automatically adjusts to fit any screen size, but that it remains fully interactive, just like when I consume it on my desktop or laptop. To illustrate this rich touch interactivity, I will switch to my iPhone. I will point my Safari browser to the Magellan BI Reporting instance hosting this report, and I'm going to invoke the report. And here is the report on my iPhone X. The view matches the single column layout that we saw in the simulator. I can swipe up and down to explore the current page. I can pull up to go to the next page. I can pull down to go to the previous page, just like so. I can paginate from the navigation toolbar on top as well. To see the labels for all categories of this column chart, I change the orientation of my iPhone from portrait to landscape, and the report immediately auto-adjusts to make use of the extra horizontal space, which in this case is sufficient to display the labels for all categories of this chart. To better see the chart, I simply double tap on it and it opens in full screen mode. I double tap again to go back to the report. In this same way, namely by double tapping, I can maximize any chart, table, or crosstab. I'm going back to portrait mode. And in portrait mode, some of the columns of this table at the bottom extend beyond the current screen size. And this arrow that shows up on the right side when I touch the table indicates that there are more columns to the right. To see these columns, I simply swipe right, just like so. I can swipe in the opposite direction as well. And note how I'm not horizontally scrolling the entire report. I'm scrolling just this one table element. And this same experience is, by the way, enabled for crosstabs as well. To analyze and customize this report, next I will invoke the interactive viewer. To do this, just like on the desktop, I select Enable Interactivity from the hamburger menu on top. And as we know, the interactive viewer enables business users to do so much more. For example, to filter this chart to show us just the top 5 stocks based on their current value, I tap on the chart, and from the context menu, I specify that we would like to filter the chart for top, bottom, and here I specify that we would like, based on the current value, to select the top 5 stocks, just like so. I click apply, and the chart will be automatically and instantaneously updated. To make this table at the bottom of our report easier to navigate, I sort by the first column, which is portfolio asset, and I click on the column. Then I can sort ascending or descending order simply by clicking on these up and down arrows. To make this table even easier to navigate, I decide to group it by the third column, which is the asset class column. So to do this, I select the asset class column, and from the context menu, I select group, add group, and just like that, our report is grouped by asset class. To remove columns that are not needed, such as, let's say, this ticker column right here, I select it, and from the context menu, I specify that the column should be removed, just like so. To highlight portfolio assets with volume below 1,000, I select the volume column, and I select format, conditional formatting, and here I specify that the red font should be used to highlight values, the current volume of values, which are below 1,000. I click apply, and our table is updated instantaneously to show us the volume values, which are below 1,000. Just like on the desktop, I can now save this report, this custom report that I just created, by going to the hamburger menu and selecting the Save As option. And the key point here is that the exceptional power of the interactive viewer is now available when reports are consumed from tablets and smartphones, not only when they're consumed from the desktop or from laptops. So in summary, Magellan BI Reporting Release 21.1 extends the delightful, highly interactive web experience for consuming reports on the desktop to tablets and smartphones by automatically resizing and repositioning the report's elements to optimally fit the available screen size, as well as by providing a rich touch-enabled user experience. Thank you for watching.